Assalamu alaikum and welcome to this case study. It's June 2022 and I have brother Harun Rashid with me. MashaAllah, he's living up to that name. And MashaAllah, I mean, I've titled this From Zero to Hero. And I think it's going to be a really exciting and very inspiring case study, especially for those of you who feel overwhelmed, feel like you're not achieving. Maybe you've had a past of achievement, but you've gone stale. This case study is going to really inspire you. And so we're going to talk a little bit about where Harun was before he joined Vista, before we met. And we're going to talk about the progress he's made. He's made some incredible progress. And we're going to give you some insights into some of the skills he's developed in order to make that progress and how that might relate to you, the listener. So without further ado, Harun, could you tell us, first of all, just, give us a bit of introduction about who you are and where you live and what's your kind of situation, your context, work-wise, family-wise?
Yeah, Jazakallah khair. Thank you for having me. I'm Harun Rashid. I live in London, recently moved out to Kent, grew up in the city, of course. I'm an entrepreneur since the age of 18. I haven't worked for anyone else since the age of 23. It was the last time I worked for someone else when I was trying to balance both business and a part-time job. Alhamdulillah, I've had some huge successes with my businesses and some mammoth failures, naturally. Wow. And yeah, it's been a crazy journey. Over 15 plus years in business, doing different things online and offline. A great journey. Yeah. So glad to be here working with yourself on the whole transformation.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Fantastic. So, I mean, you're already an entrepreneur. You've already experienced the highs and lows. When I met you, you were going through a bit of a low. And from what the phrase which I remember, something like it's a mess. Or I'm doing nothing. So, can you just take us there, because this is gonna help resonate with people. I want people to be able to hear what you're going through and think, well, I'm not that bad. If he can get through this, then I can as well. So can you just describe, try to bring yourself back? Because I know you're on a high right now. Trying to remember what it was before you met me, like what was going wrong and what was the situation before you started Vista?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a very productive, high performance kind of individual. I always like to be busy. I like to be doing lots of different things. But the past 5 years, 5 months, 5 to 6 months, I've really found myself really stuck mentally, emotionally. And I really didn't know why. I found I lost complete motivation to do anything, and I lost clarity, I guess, in even now, I'd say my purpose of my life, for example, right? And the way I describe it is like a rusty nut and bolt, right? And I needed some WD-40 applied on it, okay, to get it released, and then all the rust being taken off by putting in some chemicals. So that's what's happened to me in the last couple of weeks.
And then what was he? Can you like paint a picture for like what did that look like outwardly in terms of your work, in terms of your family life? What
totally. Like, I'm sleeping late, I'm waking up late, I'm even not very punctual with my salahs, just barely doing them and just getting through them, and missing them sometimes even. I'm actually just kind of like rather than me being what do you call it, like early for my work, right, for the meetings, pre-prepared, that's how I was before. Like, I'm getting there, I'm like 5 minutes late even sometimes, people waiting for me, and I'm supposed to be a leader, right? I
remember you telling me you'd lost the kind of drive, the passion had kind of fizzled out.
Completely. And sometimes I'm in a meeting and my mind somewhere else, or I'm somewhere else basically, and it's like somebody's asking me a question, I'm like, can you repeat that again? Like, it was like, and that's not what I expect for myself. That's not the standard I hold myself to. And this is what ignited in me, no, there's something wrong with me, I need to do something about it.
Now, before we go into like how, the how and what happened in between, let's paint the contrast. Like last week, you were very close to, winning the 3-hour workday challenge, which we do for our Vista clients. Mashallah, you saved like a headliner 36 hours, extraordinary. It's actually a record for Vista clients. So congratulations, first of all, on that. And normally it would, I mean, like the only reason you came second was like the person who came first was just mashallah. She it was just the contrast was even greater than yours. Like, and so you were kind of, for me, it was like a winning entry what you did. So you achieved, describe us like, without talking about the journey yet, we'll come to that. Just describe to us where you got to. What were your, in those 36 hours saved, what were some of your favorite accomplishments, the things you're most proud of?
Yeah. By the way, if you had given me first position, I would have actually given that up for that sister after hearing her story. Like, honestly, because of the circumstance she was, to what she had to fight, her health and all that circumstance. So yeah, great congratulations to her. Yeah, I mean, look, I've never had a problem with working, right? And the number of hours I could possibly work. Okay. I've never had a problem with that. I'm a 12, 15 hours guy at some point. But the trouble for me was that is that's what I was doing. And I think that was the problem. I was working too much. And then I got burnt out. Yeah. It was all work, right? But I'm made, as a human being, I'm made out of all these different areas in my life. And what I that whole contest that we did allowed me to, that look, if you focus work for 3 hours, obviously that was a challenge. I think I'm gonna have to do a few more hours than that on a regular basis. But 3 hours, you get a lot humongous amount of done because you're now focused. And then it's okay to do all the other things, right? In the past,
what were some of the things you did which were like, wow, yeah, I've not done this for months or years? What are some of the things? Just list them for our listeners, like the things you're most happy about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I've been going to the gym every single day, spending over an hour and a half, a lot of self-care, went to the dentist to get my teeth done, went shopping. What else did I do?
Your Dean, you reinvested nearly 20 hours in your Dean. Tell us about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That I think is the most important thing. I suddenly realized, whoa, I got so much time and I need to use that time efficiently. And yeah, I enrolled myself into got myself an Arabic teacher, a Quran teacher. Even I create some big goals in those areas. Even enrolled into reigniting or restudying, fiqh to refresh some of my learnings from the past when I was a lot younger. Yeah, and I even had the holiday was pre-booked.
You were able to enjoy it, right? You could really enjoy it guilt-free.
Yeah, and I didn't feel guilty at all going into, because I've done so much,
I mean, even if you had one of those, it would have been significant, right? But to have so many, like I said, 36 hours spread out across, Dean goals, across health goals, family goals, right? I remember you spent 7 hours more like with your family. I saw those pictures in the park and the swimming, so yeah, it was an astonishing week. And so now let's kind of track back a bit and to go from like unmotivated and not wanting to do anything to get to the, I mean, it's interesting now. I don't even know. I'm looking forward to your answers, because the for me, the power of Vista is getting you into action, right? And there's so many tools there. I know that the layering them up, one of them is going to really hit home. So I'm curious myself. Which tools of Vista had the biggest impact, do you think? What do you think has helped create this transformation? Since you started.
Yeah, I think I personally think the whole Mabruk moment thing, which is focusing on one thing for that entire week. Yes, you have lots of things that you need to do, but that honing onto that one thing and getting that one thing done, and then recognizing that you've done that thing and congratulating yourself for it, and just recognizing that. Wow. I think
the very first tool you learned.
Yeah, and for me, I think I do a lot of things, but I don't often say say alhamdulillah, mashallah. Now reflect back and think positively that no, actually I did something significant here, right? And recognize that. So because obviously as a business person, you're fighting fires every day. There's a lot of problems you're dealing with every day. By the end of the day, like if you focus on the problems, then that can mount up to be quite a bit. And over time, it weighs in on you. And I think that's what was happening with me as well,
Yes.
that because and I'm dealing with multiple businesses, and all the problems come to me, obviously being the CEO or the founder of the business, and you're constantly dealing with them. So, you know, having that that one you can say tactic that you taught, which is you know, get one thing done and be thankful for it. I mean, what I did in my own practice is, you know, be thankful for 10 things that I got.
You know? Absolutely. So that's your favorite tactic. What helped you? Because clearly you're very motivated now. Like, I mean, the way you like attack that competition. I mean, there are other Vista students who didn't achieve anywhere near as what you did. So you're clearly, your motivation levels are skyrocketed. So what do you think helped the most with your motivation? Was it the whole thing as a whole, or was there a particular module, the mission statement, or was there a particular thing which really helped ignite your desire or help your clarity? What's helped your motivation levels the most?
I think I think for me is actually yourself, you know, seeing what you've done is just the whole idea of taking up a coach and just opening yourself up to receive, you know, and receive, you know, guidance and receive instruction and just going and doing it.
Right? So that mentorship, I mean, that's an interesting thing. It's not always the tools, but it's just it's having the mentor, being able to talk and back and forth and have someone you're accountable to. Okay.
And also be, you know, in the coaching group, seeing other people as well, you know, and mashallah, like they're all at different levels and from different walks of life, right?
You've not missed a single call, have you? I think you've been to every single one.
Yeah, exactly. And just seeing everybody try, and it just reminded myself that, you know, that you could do it as well. You can get out of this stuck situation, you know, that you're feeling in your head. It's all in your head, really, because a lot of the tools I'm familiar with through reading, through obviously doing over the years, but it's just I was in a very stuck, you know, rusty position. Alhamdulillah, and you know, I feel a lot more relief. Like I feel a lot more relief, you know, inside me. It's not like clogged up anymore.
Brilliant. And final question on terms of tools and things. You're obviously a lot more organized now. You're a lot more efficient. You're getting things done a lot more. Which tool do you think has helped you? And like I said, a lot of these things, you're right, we're in time management books. But what the difference is here is that we've, you know, 4 or 5 of the best systems. It's in one place, and we teach you to implement it, to live it, right? So it's not just a theory. Out of all the tools you've done so far, and there's still, you know, much. I mean, what's amazing about you, you're only just past halfway through. Your journey's still plenty to do. Out of what you've learned so far, which tools do you think helped you become the most efficient or most organized?
Sure. So 2 things I'd say. One is doing that whole mission statement, and you know, and how you're going to achieve your mission, and what are your roles, and then each of those roles, what do you want to expect? I absolutely loved that, because it made me think, you know what, you're not just a businessman. Okay, you're a father, you're a you know, a Muslim, you know.
I mean, you clearly got that, because, you know, the way you did your 36 hours, what I was most impressed with personally was how it was distributed across so many roles.
That's right.
And I'm guessing that comes to your mission, comes back to your mission.
Exactly. It just made me realize that, you know what, I've got to succeed in every single area. It's not just my business, and how by being successful as a Muslim is going to impact all the rest. How by being successful as a father is going to impact. So each one will impact one the other. It's like marbles on a circular. You know, one bouncing off of the other, basically, and each one creating moment for the other. That's the way I visualized it. Absolutely. And the other one is, I guess, the Q2 planner, which is which I've been doing right from the start every single week. So, you know, whereas before in my stuck rusty mode period is I was only making it to do for that day, right? Okay, for that day, and just barely going. Here now, I'm visualizing a whole week ahead. Right, even though
from Q1 to Q2, from the urgent and the just reactive to being proactive, planning your week based on your mission.
Yeah. And it is not something that I'm unfamiliar with. I've always been a timetable guy, you know, but it's just in my stuck period, I wasn't doing any of that stuff. I wasn't applying any of these tools that I so know, right? So to be told, hey, you know, these are the tools that actually is what made you who you were before, and it's what's gonna make you, you know, this productive, efficient individual achieving amazing things. Okay, you should be doing it, and everybody else is doing it. I'm doing it, and I'm telling everybody else to do it, and they're doing it. And then, so it's just, do you see what I mean by the whole stuck situation? I just needed that reminder. alhamdulillah, like, and then it just frees you up,
Brilliant, mashallah. I could talk to you all day, Harun, mashallah. And what I love most about your story is that you've gone from, like, I mean, you run multiple businesses, and we see this in the Muslim space, is like overwork, overwhelm, workaholic is such a common thing to see, and it's almost like a badge of honor, right? But what I love about especially the way you handled the challenge last week is that you truly have this variety now. You truly have this balance, and you truly are pushing it in so many different. Nobody could accuse you of being a workaholic right now. It's like, it's really nice seeing your calendar. Like Brendan Burchard says, like, if you want to show me who you are, show me your calendar, right? And your calendar has got this. It's got deen in there. It's got family in there. It's got health in there. And I know you're much happier as a result. And so my final thing I'd like to ask you is, like, for those people watching this, there'll be people on the fence, people maybe before a strategy call, maybe they're deciding whether they want to even approach me for a triage call. And you've been through that process as well. And they're just thinking, could this work for me? You went through those doubts as well. So what would be your advice for someone on the fence? Who do you think this is ideal for? And what would be your advice to them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, look, this is definitely ideal for a Muslim who wants to both be successful in this dunya and akhirah. What I liked about yours in particular, because there are loads of coaches out there, non-Muslim, even Muslim coaches, is that you create this balance of deen and the dunya, right? Okay. I think there's too much of the dunya coaching going on out there, basically, right? And unfortunately, let's say fortunately as a Muslim, is that unfortunately as a Muslim, if you only focus on your dunya, and even if you become successful, you will feel very empty inside you, because you haven't got the akhirah, right? What I like about how you do it is even the dunya is connected to the akhirah, right? And that's what I found was unique, and how you get the people to focus on that. And what I like what you said on our last coaching call is that by fixing that big thing, okay, everything will fall in line, and you create that whole sirat al-mustaqim, that straight path to the ultimate goal, which is your hereafter, right? And everything else will fall into place. So that's what I like about it. So if somebody's a Muslim, and watching this or is thinking about it, definitely this is right for them. The second thing I would add is coaching itself is absolutely necessary in your life, and it's not for the people who don't want to achieve things and who don't give a damn about their life or their purpose or what they want to achieve. It's actually for high performers. It's actually for people who want to do a lot of things. You always got to stay held accountable, and that's why you are gonna. And there's so much we can hold ourselves to account. And that was my thing, right? I've had coaches in the past, and it's what got me to where it got me. And then for a period of time, I'm holding myself to account, and then it wears you out, right? You need other people to hold you to account. So I highly recommend for anybody who is a Muslim, who wants to perform and who wants to achieve and deliver, wants to, outdo everybody else around them, be their work, friends, colleagues, and be the best of themselves, be the best representative of themselves. I highly recommend to do coaching.
Fantastic. Jazakallah, Harun. Thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. I'm sure many people are going to be inspired, and look forward to seeing even more achievements and milestones before you end Vista, inshallah. So Jazakallah, Harun, and continue to enjoy crushing your goals.
Inshallah.
Thank you, everyone listening. If, like I said, after you watch this, you'll see a link below if you do want to book a 15-minute consult to discuss whether this might be the right process for you. And Jazakallah khairan. My name is Tushar Imdad, and we have Harun here. Assalamu alaikum from us.
Assalamu.